Episode 2, Family Gathering Awkwardness.
Oh boy, awkward family gatherings, where to even begin? I mean, they're like a mix between a dentist appointment and a job interview. You don't want to be there, but you have to be there. For me, there's always that one relative who doesn't understand personal space. They come at you with those tight hugs that make you feel like you're suffocating. And you know what they always say? I haven't seen you in so long. Well, I'm pretty sure that's because I'm actively avoiding you, at Mildred. And then there's the inevitable small talk. How's school? How's work? Are you seeing anyone? No, and definitely no. Thanks for making me feel like a failure in under 10 seconds. And don't even get me started on the family photo op. You know, the one where you have to stand there and smile while your dad tries to figure out how to work the timer on his ancient camera. And let's not forget the awkward posing. Do we do the classic hands on hips or the new trendy hands in pockets? And why do we have to stand in height order? I'm 30 years old, I think I can stand next to my cousin who's 29 without causing a rift in the space-time continuum. But the worst part about awkward family gatherings is the inevitable political discussion. Suddenly, everyone's an expert on foreign policy and economic theory. And before you know it, you're knee-deep in a heated argument about taxes and trade agreements. And all you wanted was some mashed potatoes. In conclusion, awkward family gatherings are like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're going to get. But hey, at least you get free food, right? Awkward family gatherings. The time when you get to see all of your extended family members that you only hear about on Facebook. You know, the cousin who's a vegan, the aunt who's always talking about her latest diet, and of course, the grandparent who always has a comment about your weight. I remember one family gathering where my great aunt insisted on hugging me, even though we had never met before. She then proceeded to tell me how much I looked like her late husband, which was a bit creepy if you ask me. And then there was my second cousin who thought it was a good idea to bring up politics at the dinner table, which of course led to a heated argument that lasted the entire meal. But the real kicker was when my uncle brought out his guitar and started playing some old folk songs. Don't get me wrong, I love a good sing-along, but not when it's my uncle singing about his ex-girlfriend from the 70s. And let's not forget about the food. My aunt decided to try out a new recipe for the family gathering, and let's just say it was an interesting choice. It was some kind of vegan gluten-free quinoa casserole that tasted like cardboard mixed with dirt. But you know what? Despite all the awkwardness and discomfort, there's something kind of beautiful about awkward family gatherings. It's a time when you get to see people who have known you your entire life, and even though you may not always see eye to eye, there's still a connection there. And if nothing else, it makes for some great stories to tell your friends later on. Awkward family gatherings. It's like a holiday tradition at this point, right? It doesn't matter how well your family gets along, there's always that one relative who makes things uncomfortable. For me, that relative was my Uncle Bob. Now, I love Uncle Bob, but he has a knack for saying the wrong thing at the wrong time. At one Thanksgiving dinner, he decided it was the perfect time to bring up politics. And not just any politics, but the kind of politics that makes your blood boil. Let's just say there were some heated exchanges and a lot of uncomfortable silences. But the awkwardness doesn't stop there. There's always that one family member who asks about your personal life in excruciating detail. So, when are you going to settle down and get married? Do you have a boyfriend/girlfriend yet? And if you're already married, it's when are you going to have kids? It's like they have a checklist of intrusive questions they need to ask before the night is over. And then there's the food. Look, I know everyone has their own way of cooking and their own preferences, but some of the dishes that show up at family gatherings are just plain bizarre. I once went to a family gathering where someone brought a Jell-O salad with bits of fruit suspended in it. I'm sorry, but Jell-O and fruit should never be mixed together. That's a crime against nature. But at the end of the day, no matter how awkward or uncomfortable things get, there's always something to be thankful for. And that's the fact that you only have to endure these family gatherings once or twice a year. So, let's raise a glass to awkward family gatherings, because without them, we wouldn't have anything to complain about at the next one.
And that wraps up another laughter-filled episode of Not So Funny A. If you enjoyed the jokes generated by our AI algorithms, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our comedy-loving community.